so long is like alchemy.
All right, here we go. Warriors Kings Saturday night, and the Kings, for the first time in I don't know how long, have beaten the Warriors in Oracle Arena twice this season. So don't think for a second the Warriors were not aware of that situation. But of course, the story on this night is the return of one of the All-Stars, Klay Thompson. Still wearing a wrap on the fractured right thumb. Going up against this Kings lineup, that backcourt in particular has a lot of confidence and a lot of swagger. I like the Kings roster. They had a good draft. Klay early on. And it was good to see him aggressive. You can tell he missed not playing. You see the wrap there. And Draymond was on his Brett Favre. You know, sometimes you throw 4 picks, sometimes you throw 4 touchdowns. And he threw 4 touchdowns in this first half. It might have been his best passing game of the season rewatching this game. You see the outlet. De'Aaron Fox going 100 miles per hour right there. He hasn't learned how to change speeds and shift gears yet, but obviously that elite speed can't be taught. And then Klay says, no other team in Cali has a swagger like us. Swagger like us. JaVale with the extra style points on this dunk. Take another look at this. It might have been one of the best finishes of the season. Spreading the legs, pause, and then finishing high. Bogdanovic getting all the way to the rim. And just like Steph, everything is predicated off the threat of his shot. Because you have to respect it so much, he's able to get places you may not expect. Another dime from Draymond, this time KD the beneficiary. De'Aaron blowing by. He's going to get to the rim whenever he wants. And there's their vertical spacer, Willie Cauley-Stein. And he's like your boy who got sent away when y'all were like 14 or 15, and then he came back and you're like, damn, Willie, what happened to you, bruh? Shit done changed. Watch JaVale here on the offensive glass, and I just feel like he's been playing bigger of late. You know, he's just been realizing how big he is and being more patient in the paint. De'Aaron, again, getting where he wants and feeding Bogdanovic. This backcourt, like I said, they're not there yet, but the way they carry themselves, it's almost kind of like a Jay Rich, Gilbert Arenas thing. Not that they play the same. Look at JaVale drawing the double and getting Klay an easy one. But it's just, you know, 2 young guards in a backcourt where you just kind of saw their swagger. Draymond asks Bogdanovic, what's in your wallet? Sends him out in transition. And then Klay off the dribble 3. I love to see this. I love this aggression. And until Steph gets back, we may need Klay to take a few of those. There's the Kings owner. Those of you that don't know, his daughter is a straight dime piece that everybody in the game is trying to get at too. But what's good with the lighting? We know you're a billionaire. You can't fully light your arena for the TV. Damn. Anyway, back to the action. Draymond off that cut. KD finishing strong. And I really expected KD to come out ultra aggressive because of what had happened. Kind of like a makeup game to us. And there's De'Aaron on the break. The pull-up jumper. And that's Russ-like with the speed that he can just shoot up with. Now Bogdanovic with the push shot here on the other side. And like I was alluding to, they remind me of a young Gilbert Arenas and Jason Richardson. They just belong, right? They have a swagger. KD, like I said, I thought he would be very aggressive because of the way the last game ended, right? But he picked his spots and he let the game come to him. Quinn on the break from you-know-who. So I was impressed with KD's, finesse of the game. There's the pull-up, and he got going. I believe he had like 15 points in the first quarter, but it came within the natural flow of the offense. Look at Looney switch out on Hield, switch his hips, contain, force a difficult shot, and then you've got Bell on the glass against G-Leaguer Jack Cooley, and they block him. But when you have Durant, Bell, and Looney all on the floor, 3 very switchable, longer defenders. Look at this dude, Jack Cooley, though. Doesn't he look like the brother-in-law in a mob movie? Don't you hurt her. Here's KD to close the quarter. Shot 50% from the field, 27 points in 30 minutes, and it was just a smooth, efficient game for Durant, a nice bounce-back game. I told you, 4 touchdowns in the first half. Everything was precise, and he just seemed to make the right decision on every play. Watch here with the in-and-out dribble and then attacking with the left hand and finishing. Love to see that. Draymond was easily the best player for either team all night long. Now, I talked about Klay shooting some off-the-dribble threes. Look at him, get him in the air right there. Draw the foul, Klay. We're going to need you to get guys in foul trouble in the playoffs. You get a guy in the air, jump into them. There's no shame in that backdoor. And the 2 young bigs for Sacramento do not communicate well, and Golden State was taking full advantage of that. Now, I was impressed with our friend, your friend, my friend, Buddy Hield. You see the turnover there because Golden State, you could tell their game plan was to take the ball out of Buddy Hield's hands. And he still finished with 19 points. There's a good look at Klay's hand wrap. The thumb is fully covered, and you lose feel on the ball. It didn't seem to bother him, but you don't get that feel. You want to have feel, or they call it touch, right, where you can kind of rotate the ball. Frank Mason III kind of the same pedigree as a Quinn Cook, 4 years at Kansas, and he's just a nice backup guard for Sacramento. Their guard situation is set. There's Hield creating. If he's going to draw attention from the defense, can he get shots for others? Right there, Cauley-Stein, another dunk. And there's an and one from Pat McCall slicing to the rim. You know who else had a quiet game that was very impressive was Sean Livingston. Watch this dime here to David West. Again, their bigs not communicating. But how about 6 assists for Sean? And then his defense was there as well. He was aggressive on defense, and the passing was there. Take a look at this. He gets popped in the jaw, and then he retaliates. But look what he does. I like how he gets out of there real quick. He doesn't want no smoke, right? And David West is like, no, I'm here, homie. But that's all right. I like that. We need a little attitude. We need some toughness, especially headed into the playoffs where this is the rap, right? Every team wants to go at us. Everybody wants to get physical with us, man. So we got to get physical back. We can't show any fear. You see him get popped here, and then he pulls him down and then moves away. So I like that. I like that toughness. I like that little bit of ruggedness from Sean, KD, and then look at Looney. He would have never even shot this 2 months ago, right? The confidence is just, it's growing with each quarter, never mind game. You want to see what a prayer shot looks like? Look at this kid, Jakar Sampson. You see that body language? You see that fake gooseneck he releases? That's the body language of a guy saying, please, please make that shot, man. That's funny. I love when I see that. And then talk about the decision making. Look at Draymond pass up the three. That's a high-risk pass, but everything seemed to be working out for him. Clay's going to reward him with the drive. I love the aggression. Watch yourself, and one. And it appears that he's in better shape. He probably had to do a lot more running than playing basketball out with the thumb injury. Here we go out in transition, and then watch KD. See how KD grabs onto him to protect himself? That's just a veteran move. He's up in the air. He's getting undercut. Watch him grab onto the player to break his fall. That's just a trick that you need to learn as an NBA player. Sacramento, the new era of basketball, they stay in games with the 3-ball. It's that simple. Now, Bogdanovic was relatively kept in check, just 12 points, 2 threes, but you see him hit the 3 there. On the other end, it was just nice to see Clay back and doing work. There's the patented no-dribble catch-and-shoot turn. And right back, though, I've talked about this King team, and Buddy Hield, you've got 3 guards that just have the it factor. I'm not saying they're superstars, but they all want the ball in the moment. Now, is that a problem? I don't know. I'd rather have 3 that want it than 3 that don't. That's all I'm saying. KD second half, just picking his spots. What was really nice was the turnovers were low. And look at this sequence here. This is more ball movement than your grandpa going commando. Another one, and it ends up back in JaVale's hands. You give it up to get it back. So on a night where, clearly it was not about basketball, I'm assuming everybody watching this probably already knows what is to come in this game. You see KD with the 3 and just the precision passing. The overall basketball being played by the Warriors in this game was very good. There's the bully ball, the bum rush double team on Scal, LaBCA. Draymond, like I said, the best player on the floor on both ends. KD, and he's susceptible to these. But watch, JaVale doesn't run back. Willie Cauley runs the floor. JaVale, we know he has asthma. I don't know if he was gassed or what, but he doesn't run down on this possession, and you're going to see Draymond let him hear about it. And that's what makes Draymond so important. Calling guys out, holding them accountable in games that don't matter. Now, this is my favorite move in basketball, that split throw-ahead dribble Draymond just did to split the defender, and then he runs to the ball, and it just gives you a massive advantage. Young players master the throw-ahead dribble. There's Quinn, catch and shoot, trying to get in where he fits in, right? With Clay back, less opportunity to get in rhythm and make it happen. Here, he just dribbles too many times. That pass needs to be made. He needs to catch it and rip the pass, but that's just not in his natural instincts. He's not a playmaker. We've seen that much. Hield 4 of 5 from downtown when the game plan was to run him off the three-point line. So that was impressive. Clay, the patience. Sometimes an injury can help you, man. It forces you to slow down and kind of go back to the basics of basketball. And in Clay, the time off has done him well. There's Looney, not necessarily blocking it because he doesn't go for blocks. He challenges you. He says, shoot it over me. If the block happens, the block happens. Hield again. Here's Pat showing his strongest trait, right? His ability to crowd guards, switch his hips, and stay with them all the way to the rim and getting the block, getting dapped up by his closest friend on the team, Jordan Bell. And here's the play. I thought about not even showing it in this highlight. I don't like seeing it again and again, man, and it was just troubling. So what I think had happened with Vince is, now looking at the replay several times, is I think he came over to wrap him up, but he was so far away at the last second, he just tries to step out of the way. And you can see Bell there, ultra concerned. The release today is it's a spinal contusion, and he's going to be all right. Everybody initially is mad because your guy's hurt, right? But watch Vince. He's going to come over and grab him with 2 arms, but he's not there in time, so then he just ducks out of the way. But it was a boneheaded play, and it wasn't necessary. But I've already covered the intent. You're seeing the prayer circle. But released today, what is it? It's about noon here Sunday. Happy Easter to y'all. That he's going to be all right, and it's a spinal contusion, whatever that means. But everything was negative. The CT scan, the MRI, the X-rays, there is no structural damage. So this it's just a blessing, man. And maybe shout out to whoever it was. I saw a quick blurb on the Patreon. That's Father Time telling Vince, right? It's time, brother. It's time. You're hurting youngsters out there. And I love that. I thought that was a great sign. Look at Kerr, though. This worried me. When it showed Kerr do this, that kind of let me know maybe the severity of being there of it. I mean, we knew it could be serious, but I think Kerr is extra sensitive probably to spinal and back injuries, right? Right away, Bell, with maybe his most confident jumper we've ever seen him take, and I think that shows you something. His best friend on the team gets stretchered off, and right away he hits a jumper. You just want guys like that in your corner. And you can see they're not talking, right? Everybody's mind is on Pat to start this 4th quarter. So Kerr needs a quick timeout to kind of reset these guys and let them know, like, hey, guys, let's finish the game. I know our minds are not here right now. And here's a little shout out to the OG Warrior fans. Look at Labissiere, Mikel Petrus, the baseline. How many times did we see, MP2 do this? Backpedal on the baseline and have a dunk or a 3-ball taken away, man. And that's just today's youth. Now watch David West throw the elbow on Cooley right there. Cooley was getting very physical, and you can look at him and tell that's how he plays, right? But I was nervous. With Draymond still out there in particular and Clay, I wanted them off the floor with Cooley out there, and Barnett was making me more nervous, and then we get a little China Clay in the corner. So they finished out the game strong despite the circumstances. Clay with 25 points in his return. Is that the hotline bling, K? By the way, I got a pod dropping tonight going in on Kevin Durant and his issues. Damian Jones sighting. And you would think that would be a jump hook that deep in the paint, but the little fade looked nice. Now watch him here on defense. This is the flashes of physical attributes. Switching. And then closing. I mean, he guarded 3 guys on that possession and protected the rim. So that's a glimpse of it. But by all accounts, he's just a little mentally slow. He doesn't have any swagger to him. But Golden State gets the win. And here on Easter Sunday, the news, the positive news for Pat McCall, sounding like here's the thing, is it's only a spinal contusion and he's going to be fine. But how long will it mentally take for Pat to get back? Because that was a traumatizing, that's something you never forget as an athlete and as a player. And that was very traumatizing for McCaw. So physically, he may be fine sooner than we can imagine. But mentally and emotionally, it may take some time for Pat to get over this trauma. Happy Easter, y'all. I'm out.